Well, it appears we're shooting each other again. Well, not here in Canada because we're smart and we have gun laws. That don't prevent you from owning a gun. They just prevent crazy people and people who shouldn't own guns. Who should own guns?
Okay.
And
so for our American viewers here in Canada, to be able to own a gun, you have to have a gun license. To get a gun license, you have to go through a course. The course takes 10 days. You have to pass a test. After that, you need a vetting process. So you need to have 3 people vouch for you, saying that you are mentally stable enough to own a gun.
And those people, I think one of those people have to be somebody who's like they can't just be 3 of your friends, can they? They have to be one of them has to be like a doctor, lawyer type person, isn't it?
Okay.
I don't know. I've never applied for a gun.
One of them actually has to have a gun license.
Yeah.
So somebody with a previous gun license. Other than that, it's just 2 other people who the RCMP, which is the equivalent of your guys' FBI, would actually contact them, have an on-phone interview, and go from there.
And they do background checks.
They do background checks on you.
And if you have criminal history, you don't get a gun.
If you have criminal history, if you have mental history.
Yeah.
If you've been hospitalized for mental illness, you are automatically disqualified for a gun.
Makes sense, doesn't it? That makes 100% just the most sense anyways. So the reason we're talking about this is because somebody went into a school down in Florida and shot up some kids. They killed 17 people. They wounded, I think, 23 other or some shit like that.
Well, see, I haven't heard a lot of details about this because the only thing I saw on my news feed was 17 people. So they didn't say they were dead. Yeah. So I was like, okay, 17 people wounded.
No, there were 17 dead. I think 23 wounded or something like that. And so with the same gun that has been used in every damn shooting, an AR-15. Now I guess I'm not a huge gun guy. I know what an AR-15 is because it's all over the news with school shootings in the States and because of PUBG. Apparently it takes the same bullets as just a rifle, like 22, I think. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But the big reason is because it's all over social media. You know, I'm on the Twitter, right? That's the big one for me. I like the Twitter because keeps people to 100 or whatever characters, and they can't just blab their mouth off like I do. So I'm on there and I'm reading, the usual thoughts, prayers, which never work, and people saying we gotta ban guns. And then when you click into these things and you see, the replies, and you read the replies of people saying, well, let's arm our teachers. What? Let's arm and train our teachers. Okay, first off, the government doesn't even want to buy pencils and toners and proper desks for education, and you want to give them all guns and put them through military training? Don't you think that's a problem right there? Don't you think that's a problem right there? When you say we have to arm all of our teachers, shouldn't that be a red flag there?
I agree with that. I understand the point to saying let's arm our teachers so they can shoot back, so they might be able to stop shooters sooner. But again, it's one of those things of the more people that have guns, the more crossfire there is, the more
wait until that teacher gets pissed off at a student and shoots a freaking student, or a student gets mad at a teacher, takes down the teacher, shoots the teacher. Now those mentally unstable kids who are bullied have easier access to guns because they're on a person.
In all fairness, in the States, it is incredibly easy to get access to a gun. You so Michael Moore, he did a documentary, Bowling for Combine, and he literally walked into a bank, opened up a savings account, and got a gun.
Oh, yeah, because, he got a gun as a gift.
Yeah, for opening up the savings account.
How stupid
right?
Is
That does not happen in Canada again. Tristan Hopper wrote an interesting article about in the National Post, which is a Canadian paper. Would Canadian gun laws have stopped America's worst mass shooting? And this person lists all of them, gives a little bit of history of what happens in Canada. I recommend going out reading the article. It's actually really, really good. He never says yes or no about stopping them because the combine shooting, the kids got the guns legally. So Canadian law wouldn't necessarily have stopped it, but...
We're not sitting here saying, okay, let's back up the train here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? If you put in laws, yes, laws don't absolutely kill everything. They don't solve every problem.
No.
We're not... But think about this. Okay? If you could have just stopped one of these mass shootings in a school, so you go back to Sandy Hook, that one goes away because people can't get their hands on a gun.
Oh, see,
there's 20 some odd kids.
Hold on. This one was really interesting because he does bring up the Sandy Hook one, and he says that it is a probably because the mother was a gun owner, and he got the guns from the mother. And apparently the mother was a responsible person when it came to gun handling. Now, the only difference was here in Canada, you can't store your you have to store your guns in safes. Ammunition in safes. You have to have keys and everything. So nobody can just walk in and grab it.
This is what I don't understand. Okay, so that article, I haven't read it.
No. It was just an interesting one.
But to sit there and be like, how come? Okay, so we have gun laws and we have procedures to go through to get guns, but how come? When was the last time you heard of somebody shooting up a school here in Canada?
Never. Oh no, that's not true. Not that long ago, we actually had a shooting in northern Saskatchewan. A person who was slightly unstable walked into a school, shot 6 people and killed 1 and himself. So
That's one.
We've had it.
How many years ago was that though?
This was in the past year.
Okay.
But before that, it probably been like 25
How many have you
years.
heard in the U.S. in the last 6 months?
Well,
3?
it really comes down to depending on who you ask. Because I've seen the number as high as 18.
Yeah.
And it's just like...
I guess what you classify as mass murder, right? You know, it's a loose definition of mass murder. Anything over 2.
Their definition of mass is anything over 2.
Yeah.
Or 2 or over, and it's like, wow, that's not really a
not
mass.
really
Mass, to me, would be like 5 or more.
Yeah, it would be like 10.
Because
mass
honestly,
10.
any gang shooting is a mass shooting.
Yeah, no shit. There's another mass shooting today. When you use that word, it's very misleading.
Yeah, exactly. So,
so like when these people on the internet who are pro guns are like, and their response is, it's a mental illness problem. Yep, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. There is a plethora of things that led up to this incident in every school shooting. Yes. So absolutely, you're right. Are these people who commit these crazy or a little loopy in the brain? Mm-hmm. Yes. Were they bullied in school? In most cases,
yes.
Probably. Yep. What else are people using as defense? Oh, I heard one police chief say it's society's fault because of violence in video games.
Oh, that's the video game one.
And I'm like, okay, I'll give you like 1% on that one. I'll give you a little bit. Because I can understand the violence in the video game thing. And so he pretty much, in a sense, he blames society because the media glorifies violence and glorifies killing, which, again, I'll give you 1% on that.
No, okay, I will argue for that part because in every single article that I've read about this Florida killing, it's him. It's his picture.
Yeah, it's
on the front page. Bam! That's the little thumbnail right there. We should scrub them.
We should erase this man from our memories, from his existence. He shouldn't even be mentioned by name.
He should be named Florida Killer, or if there's lots of killers in that, name him for the school.
Yeah.
The school killer.
Yeah.
And every time you put a thumbnail up, victims.
Yeah.
Always the victims. Now, one thing I have noticed was that there was a little bit more of media presence in regards to telling stories of heroes. I've read that there was 2 teachers.
Yeah, I saw
one
a couple, 2
coach,
stories. Yeah, one football coach put himself in front of him.
and another
geography
teacher
teacher.
who died trying to save a bunch of students. So, these stories are what needs to come out. These are the stories that need to be front and center. This
No
guy.
thoughts. We don't need thoughts and prayers. If you wanna if you're religious and you wanna pray, that's fine. I'm fine with that. But sending thoughts and prayers from people who can do actions, to me, that's just
Okay,
that's bullshit.
Hold on. From people that can actually do something,
don't.
they
Send your
need to
thoughts,
do something, because the
Deeds
thoughts
in
and
action.
prayers are the things that you are supposed to be doing.
If I was in the U.S., this is what I would do.
Thoughts and prayers for people who can't do anything. I agree with.
My income tax form, I'm going to be like, I'm going to pay this with thoughts and prayers because it seems to work so well. And I'm just going to do that at the bottom. Thoughts and prayers. Seems to work everywhere else. Boom. Done.
It's
sad. It's heartbreaking. It's
we have actually talked 2 times on this show about mass murders.
it's ridiculous.
And
we haven't even talked about all of them. I don't even think we talked about the one in Vegas because
no,
we were just
that was.
Did we talk
I
about
think
that?
that was the one that we talked about.
I'm sure we've skipped a couple because we're just like, this is too much. It's going to be the same rhetoric all over.
It does. It does come down to that, and I think society, yes, because of our nature that we want. We want to hear the details. We want to see the suffering. We want to see, we want to devour this stuff. But the media should start to play a little bit of a part. Suspect, don't name them. Don't give them glory. Don't give them pictures. Talk about the victims. Talk about how people can help. Right? Because I can't imagine, what... in the States, in Canada, I think there's a little bit more...
Anybody who takes money from the NRA down there as a politician, you should just not vote for them. You should do your research and not vote for them.
But everybody takes money from the NRA.
Then the NRA, and it's just to me, it's just silly. I don't understand the, I've said it a million times that this Second Amendment down in the States is like their lover. It's like
we are not saying get rid of the Second Amendment. What we are saying is just test these people. Train these people, make them pass a course, and make them get vetted. Because, again, in this article that I read, he was talking about the different shootings. There's the church shooting. The guy would never have been able to get a gun because he had a domestic violence charge against him. There was the Fort Hood shooter. It's a possibility he still could have done what he did, but because he also had a charge against him, a police charge, he wouldn't have qualified for a gun. But he was in the military.
Isn't our waiting time like 30 to 60 days or something like that?
And the thing is, the whole process from beginning to end can take anywhere from 2 to 6 months.
Yeah, because if you go and buy a gun because you're pissed off, it's like, no, you can't have it right now. You got to wait, and then you calm down. You're like, I don't really need a gun.
Now, in all fairness, some of the other details for this Florida shooter guy. He said on a YouTube comment that he wants to be a professional school shooter. Yeah. And people like that, you're not going to stop. Well,
yeah, but I would prefer if these people who wanted to kill people in a school had to do it with a knife over a gun. Because these victims, you would stand a better chance against a knife than you do a gun. Let's be honest here. Obviously, it's still shitty either way, but...
Yes, exactly. It's still shitty either way.
You just got to look at, everybody goes back to it. Look at Australia. They had a mass shooting in 1996. 12 days later, they enacted laws. They started a buyback program, and they haven't had a mass shooting since.
In all fairness, also, in Australia, they have a much smaller population.
Yeah, okay.
And much less, much of a less gun culture, so you'd never be able to buy back the guns.
No, in the U.S., you would never. But you're not looking to solve the problem. It wouldn't solve the problem tomorrow. It wouldn't solve the problem in a year, 5 years.
True.
It would take a generation.
True.
To fix this.
And one thing I would love to point out is all of you young people, if you are sick and tired of old people not doing anything, start doing something about
Yeah.
it and stop voting for those people in office that keep doing the same thing over and over again. You want
Get
change.
some young blood in there.
Exactly. In the nomination processes, you go, you're over 50, you're out. You're over 50, you're out. You can go, oh, well, that's ageism. Well, you know what? We need some young blood in there
you
to
guys are
start
old and
making things different. Because, unfortunately, in the States, it is either red or blue.
Yeah.
There is no other color like up here in Canada where we have red, blue, and orange. Not that orange is that much of a better color. But at least we have 3 options.
I live in
Sometimes
Canada,
4.
and man, I sit there and I worry about my kid at school all the time, and the likelihood is way less that there's going to be somebody walking into a school with a gun here in Canada.
To be
And it's
honest, yeah, in our society in Canada, we've had very few mass shootings, but the mass shootings that tend to happen are with hunting rifles, and hunting rifles are pull the trigger, shoots once, you have to bolt it, and they're like. Yeah, for the most part. And our clips are not very big, so there
we
would
have
be
a max on clips. We have
5 rounds in a clip. 5 rounds.
Let us know down below if you know the 100, because I don't know if that's 100% true. I don't
No,
know if that's-
it is.
Okay.
One of the guys that I work with, he has a gun license. Actually, 2 of the guys that I work with, they have gun licenses. But one guy, he actually has something similar to an AR.
I read a reply to somebody on Twitter. I read a comment from a military sniper. And he said, I had to go through, it was either 100 or 300 hours of training and mental capacity tests before he was able to shoot another person.
Oh. Yeah.
Just think about that for a
Military
second.
training,
Think about that for a second. Okay? Okay, did you think about that? Did you let that sink in? Somebody in the military, 100 or 3, it was, I think, we'll say it was 100 hours.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. That's
It is.
4 or 5 days total worth of training to be able to shoot a gun.
24-hour days, by the way.
Yeah. In the military.
That's like 5 weeks.
Yeah.
5 weeks, 40 hours
of training.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. And, I can just walk into a pawn shop, buy a gun, buy some ammo, walk out. No questions asked. Think about that. If you don't think there's something wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen, you're part of the problem.
And again, we're not saying get rid of the Second Amendment or get rid of guns.
By no means.
Just make it so people have to actually go through training.
To get vetted.
And vet.
That's it.
Vetting process. That's it. We're not asking for the impossible. And I don't know. Unfortunately, it's the red or blue in the States. You're either for or against. Yeah. And
there's no middle ground apparently
Yeah,
in this world.
there
Even
hasn't-
anywhere in this world, there's no middle ground. And it's
well,
just
on the internet, there's never a middle ground. It's either you're an asshole or you're an asshole.
That's right. You're a left asshole or you're a right asshole.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so there we go.
In reality, we're all just a bunch of dirty assholes.
Yeah.
So really, honestly, let's just smarten up. And you know what? If you're sick of the U.S., hey, come on up to Canada.
We have gun laws
we're
and gay marriage.
We're pretty
and free healthcare.
Yeah, we're a pretty welcoming country. If you're a good person, come on up. If you're an asshole, please just stay there. Can we just make it? Remember when they used to send all the criminals to Australia?
Yep.
Can we just maybe build a wall around the U.S. and be like, that's it. This is where all the bad people go because you guys are crazy. And we'll just we'll build a big dome or something over it, and we'll give 45,000 keys out to people around the world and be like, to open this, all of us have to converge and open it or something like that, and we can just lock all the bad people in there. And anybody who's really good, you can come on up. But everybody who's bad,
Escape from New York.
Yeah, something just you know what? Or maybe we could just confine it to Texas or something, or somewhere. I don't know. Anyways,
Arkansas.
Guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Subscribe because we rant and talk about bullshit all the time.
Yes, we do.
That's what we do.
Mm-hmm. We're a couple of assholes.
That's right.
Spewing crap
That's
all over the place.
That's right. Because we think we're smart. Then I watch Jeopardy and I'm like, fuck, I'm not that smart. Anyways, have a great one. Later.
See ya.